everyone, it's Allison Waken, and today I wanted to show you how I made my DIY Adventureland ears. So I wanted to make maybe Dole Whip or pineapple ears, but they kind of turned into Adventureland ears, which is totally fine because we love Adventureland. I kind of used a spin on the floral ears that are pretty popular right now, but they kind of just took on a life of their own. So let's get started.
Okay, so we have our supplies and the template already cut out, which is linked below, and I'm just going to set everything out and get it ready to go. And there are two different types of felt. There's a thicker felt and a thinner felt. I'm going to end up using the thinner, more pliable felt. So here I'm just using the end of the template for the ears. So you don't need the two sides, you'll just need one of the circles, leaving a flat part at the end because you're going to trim that to fit your headband. I am cutting out this circle from a piece of foam board just using a craft knife. You could also use scissors, but I find the craft knife works much smoother with foam board. So you're just going to trim that out, and then you can shave down or trim off any little pieces on the edges if you need to kind of clean that up a bit. You'll want to use foam board that's the color of your ears if possible. So if you're doing black ears, I'd buy a black foam board. It just makes it so it doesn't stick out as much. So here I'm going to go ahead and just draw a little template of this headband curve so that they fit nice and neat on there. So once the template is drawn on, then I just trim it out. So you can see it kind of created a little half circle or piece of a circle that fits really nicely onto my headband. And next I'm going to trace and cut out my template on the felt. And I'm going to actually make the outside of one of these circles a little bit bigger, and I'll show you why in a minute. This is an extra step if you want. It just makes a nicer looking ear. And instead of drawing the template twice, I am just going to fold the felt in half and cut it out from here. Use a sharp pair of scissors. The felt can be hard to cut if your scissors aren't super sharp. So that big end that I did, I'm going to cut slits in, marking, meeting up to the line that I traced. And I'll show you how to do that or why we're doing that in a minute, but it looks like a little lion's mane. So I'm just going to clean up my workspace a little bit so that the hot glue doesn't get all over everything, and just pull out the foam board and the ears and get those ready. We're going to glue our foam board earpieces onto our headband. So we're just going to use some hot glue, my favorite adhesive. It holds really well, especially onto different surfaces. So remember where we traced that circle a bit bigger and cut out that little lion mane? What we want to do is put that on the front of the ears and fold those over and glue them on. That's going to make a really smooth circle. And then we just add some glue and turn that felt piece over to make the back. So what that does is it completely wraps the ear instead of leaving the edges showing. So if you had black ears and a black foam board, you wouldn't need to do that because it wouldn't show. But since mine is white and my felt is yellow, I went ahead and wrapped it around. It just makes a cleaner, nicer look. So there, my ears are covered, and you can leave them as is, but I found these fun flowers at Joann, and I'm going to use those as the base of my floral ears. And then I also found these wooden pieces and this fake leaf at Joann as well. So what I'm going to do with the leaf is make the bow. So you're going to cut almost like a leaf shape and fold it in half, and you're going to do two of those. So I just use the first one that I cut out as a template for the second, and you're just going to meet the two small points and glue with hot glue. And then I'm going to cut a long slim piece to wrap around the center, so it makes a really cute easy mini bow, and you don't have to use a bow template or something like that. Now my bow is pretty flat, so I'm just adding an extra bow piece onto the back. It just kind of fluffs it up a little bit and makes it nicer. You can also do this with paper or fabric. And the last step, I'm going to glue everything on. So this bow, I actually am going to make even a little more padding for it to stand out just a bit. So I just wrapped up more of that leaf and glued it all together. A nice amount of hot glue will hold that on right there in the center. And then I am going to just glue on my wooden pieces. Again, lots of hot glue to make sure they're not going to fall off. And it makes a really sturdy mini ears. So whatever kind of mini ears you're making, they'll be nice and sturdy. And I was going to leave the back plain, but to finish it off, I think I'll add a bit of this leaf just to make it fun to see from the back. Little hot glue there.
And that's it. One thing I wanted to note is that if you plan on attaching multiple things to your ears, you'll definitely want to go with a wider headband. I had a thinner one, and towards the end of the day it would kind of start leaning and I had to keep adjusting it. So definitely look for the wider headbands if you can. Also keep in mind where your headbands are going. If you're going on a plane or traveling or something like that, you want to make sure everything's really secure. So add on extra hot glue if you can, or something like that, just to make sure the pieces don't fall off. Mine went on the plane, stuffed in a bag, and we're still fine. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching. If you don't already, I'd love for you to follow me. Bye.